From the front of the house, you would have no idea just how big and sprawling the backyard is. I love the fact that as you walk around, it slowly reveals itself and you get to ascend down these stairs and it just seems like it keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and more beautiful. Hello guys and welcome to Nyali Estate. Today I will be taking you on a tour of this Mediterranean inspired 12,000 square foot house behind me. It is sitting on a 1.2 acre piece of land surrounded by nature. It's quiet, it's serene, and the best part about this property is that it's on sale. So for 430 million Kenyan shillings, you could get this property with the full interiors by Fine Urban Construction and Interiors. But if you just want the house as it is, you could get it for 380 million. So I'll be able to take you through the entire compound on the exterior, and then we can go inside the house and look at all the rooms in the house and see the beautiful views. So with all that said, I think we can start the tour and take a look at the compound. Right away, you can see that there's been so much space allocated in the parking area. This space could comfortably fit 18 to 20 cars easily. If you have a fleet of cars or if you're having a big party, it's really easy to accommodate. The cab rows are well done, and you can see that the front of this house is a great representation of what you should expect in terms of design. This beautiful water fountain that is right at the front of the house. You can see the touches of that Mediterranean design that I was talking about. You'll see that sprinkled throughout. And again, as we're looking around, you see how nature has been fully incorporated even at this entrance to give this area that serene feel. There's a nice cool breeze coming in. I have to say it is absolutely stunning right from the get. So right away, you can see a number of structures on this property. On my right, we have the SQ, which is a two-story structure. We have a really big garage area, and of course, we have the main house, but we will be starting with the backyard. So we'll just head right over this way and really get into the nature. From the front of the house, you would have no idea just how big and sprawling the backyard is. I love the fact that as you walk around, it slowly reveals itself and you get to ascend down these stairs and it just seems like it keeps getting bigger and bigger and better and more beautiful. And now I am standing at what has to be one of the best views I have seen in such a long time. This is like having your own personal paradise. I do appreciate the fact that a lot of what I'm looking at right now had to be placed intentionally. It just had to. The selection of flowers, the intentional choice to incorporate nature. I mean, when you live in an area like this, it is the best idea to make the most out of the kind of environment that you live in. And the way everything is so well manicured, the different colors, the different textures, the sprawling empty spaces where really the world is your oyster and what you would choose to do with this backyard. And I guarantee you some of these areas that I'm looking at, I don't see a lot of areas where we're using umbrellas, but I have a feeling it's because these trees provide enough shade. So I just want to walk around and really take in all the small details of this amazing space. With a house as big as this and with a compound as incredible as this one, I see a lot of this space being used for really intimate, maybe birthday parties, if you're having an engagement. This feels like a home prime for creating memories. I see your children remembering their parties here because there's so much space. You can put up tents, and then you have a section like this. This is the perfect area for a barbecue. You can have a couple of seats here, just chill. If it's for the man and you're having your friends over, you have all this space to have seats and just enjoy each other's company. And it's also such a great area for any adults who might be enjoying down here to also look over if the kids are out there playing on the grass. It's such a wonderful layout. I like the way it feels like as you're descending the steps, there's even bigger steps. So no matter where you are, you have a very clear view of everything that's happening. And that is paramount for safety, especially this being the type of home that you would want to live in here for years and years with your family, possibly even grandchildren. So you want to make sure that you're able to see every corner. Now, I am looking down right now, and I can see a really nice stream of water that's running through. That's just one of those other elements that really plays into how the owner has been so intentional in making sure that this environment really does feel like you've found your own little paradise somewhere in the middle of a forest, and it's just the perfect atmosphere. As I've mentioned, the air feels so fresh and so clean, and yet it still feels so private. I just want to take it all in. I'll keep describing it as a paradise because that's exactly what it feels like. There's so much more to see, so let's follow the paths and see what we'll discover. So due to how the house has been designed, working with the landscape and having that step-like quality to each level, it means that it has created so many opportunities to really take in the nature. And one of those ways that has been implemented on the main structure is by the inclusion of multiple entertainment areas and balconies. So let's go up these set of stairs and take a look at what that view is like. There's something that's so elegant about how they've chosen to separate these two spaces. I think it's details like that that really showcase that there was a lot of love and attention that was put into every aspect of design of this house. So now we are at the first balcony. This is actually directly connected to the entertainment area on the inside of the lowest floor of this house. So you're able to actually come outside of those doors, come out here, have a seat, and take in the views. Due to the terrain, they have made sure to include steps that are leading to every level. So now I am heading down into the next patch of grass, really nice, green, big piece of land. This is ideally where the kids would come out and kick around the football. It's just a really nice, open and clean, breezy area. We have more steps leading up to the final destination. This has to be one of my favorite parts of this house. And here we are, just when you thought we couldn't discover any more spaces, this is yet another area that feels a bit more private. You can see those steps leading up here. It's in a bit of a corner and it has one of the best views because on this property, this is the closest that you can actually get to the dam. This is the best section of this house personally. I don't think there's anywhere I've been where you get to be this close to nature. Earlier on today, I got to see some monkeys really up close in these trees. They're friendly, don't worry about it. So you also get that aspect. You have monkeys on your property, you get to listen to the birds. There's a few ducks in the water. It's just a really serene environment. And you might be wondering, isn't this a bit too open? I did mention how the trees provide such great coverage. It was really, really sunny earlier on today. And I could say confidently that the way those trees are kind of leaning into this area, they do provide cover. But again, the flexibility of all the spaces we've seen on this property allows you to add your own touches. So if you felt like this area would need coverage, you could always add that. It's just a really nice, cozy space to kick back and enjoy a beer or two, enjoy a chat with friends. Really, the world is your oyster. Now we can take a look at the main structure. And I think this is where you can really see that Mediterranean-inspired architecture and molding really shine. You can see all around me, there's these high arches with a pointed top. You can see these star details. It is one of those things that really shows that somebody really took the time to make sure that they're getting all these design elements out and visible. So it's the first impression that you get, and I think it's a great reflection of what to expect from the inside. We have a couple of steps here leading to one of the most magnificent front doors that I have ever seen. This also looks like one of those things that was handpicked, and that's something you're going to notice throughout. Plastic finishes and handcrafted bits and bobs throughout the entire house. We have bits of antique, and you can see that so well represented on this front door. This is so magnificent, and you can tell it is a labor of love because you don't get something like this by simply going to a store and purchasing it. This was probably something that was commissioned and therefore makes it a very high quality material and high quality door, not only in aesthetics, but also in functionality. You can tell that no expense was spared when it came to making sure that the designs that we saw on the outside are also reflected at the inside. That also goes for this door. It could have been such an easy thing to make the beautiful decorative side be on the outside and then inside it's bland, but you can see to make sure that you're getting the best quality and the best design, it was done on both sides. And as I'm looking at the grills on the windows, it really is reminding me of the grills that we did see outside all through the lawn, just to have that continuity. You see that same design even taken down to the floors on these beautiful tiles, well cut, well laid. And of course, this entrance, this foyer feels so grand. We have these high ceilings. Your eyes are immediately taken up to this antique chandelier hanging down from the ceiling and just creating the perfect impression as that first welcome, and also such a great introduction into the grandeur that you're going to see as you're moving through the house. So over to my right, I am now looking at the formal living room. Gypsum is already done. You can see the lighting has also been well considered. All the recessed lighting that has been put all around will assure that this space is well lit, as well as this incredible fireplace at the end of it. It's exquisite in the design, and you can tell when I'm talking about Mediterranean inspiration, it also goes into touches like this, because this could have easily been a basic fireplace, but because that consideration was put in mind when designing every aspect of this house, you will see it reflected in so many different aspects, and this is a great example of that. Nice, clean, shiny wooden floors, no scratches. It is such a perfect space. So when I'm looking at the windows and looking at the grills, I do notice that that design does have those sharp edges. So that juxtaposition between those sharp edges and the curved windows is perfect. And them being so large and allowing that light to really pour in. And of course, with a space like this, you will notice that this house has also really thought about making the use of that beautiful backyard that we saw. So we do have an access to the balcony area. The ease of movement through this house, the touches of unique pieces that you can tell have been hand selected, something like this coffee table, that other table over there, every little bit and piece here might seem mismatched, but when it all comes together, it's wonderful and makes such a cozy feeling of this home. This is the space that you would find me in, just looking at all the little bits and bobs and trinkets that have been placed here, so unique, all working so well together to bring in that feel. I will say Mediterranean multiple times, but it's because every space that you walk into, you feel it 100%. So for the next space, we will head into the dining room. So there is a partition, again, with that beautiful grill work. You'll just walk up a couple of steps and voila. here we are, we have the dining area. When you're taking a look at the glass as well, that design is represented. Nice, clean mirrors. This area is so spacious. I love the touches of dark wood as you're walking throughout the entire house. And the reason it doesn't feel very dark is because a space like this, you can see how big and expansive this window is. Again, looking out onto that beautiful backyard. We have a piano in this space, which is such a beautiful touch. Again, in dark wood. I like how all the spaces have been used to add in those trinkets, those touches to really reflect the feel of this house. The gypsum here is also well done, finished off with a beautiful medallion in the center. Again, we can see how those recessed lights have been used to keep things quite simple, but this area is definitely going to be well lit when need be. So something that you will note as we're walking through, there's quite a number of lounge areas just to give you the opportunity to do multiple different things or hold multiple different functions in your home comfortably. So over here we have yet another lounge area. This has a more relaxed feel to it. It has the wall-to-wall carpeting, meaning it's really nice on your feet as soon as you walk in. A very nice big space. This room is actually one of the bedrooms. If I didn't mention this before, this house is a 5-bedroom house, but the owner decided to convert this into a private lounge area. But of course, you could always turn it back into a bedroom, and you will notice as we go through, all the rooms are en suite. For this particular one, you can tell by the sizing, it is quite big. It has nice large windows, but I really love what they've done with the space. You have that huge wall where you could put, if you want, a TV. Here you can see we have a projector. It really does feel cozy in the way that it has been designed. And it's another room that just has that burst of that Mediterranean feel. The touches of wood continue, the warm colors, every space just feels so cozy. Now let's head on to the next space. Another thing I want to note is as I'm walking through these hallways, they are quite wide, the tiling is consistent, the light is pouring in, so no space in this house feels cramped. The spaces have been allocated correctly. And now we're gonna take a look at one of the first rooms on this property. I think you can tell, if you can use your imagination, this room is almost a mirror image of the one we've just left, but you can see this one is actually being used as a bedroom. It's quite expansive. We have multiple seating areas, and when you're looking at the bed, it's not a small bed, so that just goes to show how big this room is. And you can see we still had space to have a vanity here and still have the room to walk around comfortably. We do have a bathroom right over on this side. Right over here, yet another space that is quite big. The tiles are unique in this space. We have a shower cubicle, the toilet bowl, and a nice sized vanity with cabinetry and all the good stuff that you would need. So as you walk out of this bedroom, right across the hallway, in a way that actually still maintains the privacy, you can see the use of the stairs really lets you know that you are heading into a totally different space in the house. So over on this side, we do have 2 kitchens. We have the exterior kitchen, which is the dirty kitchen, which also can be accessed through the garage. And then you can walk in and now come into the interior kitchen, which is here. We have the kitchen over on my left, and then we have a small dining area. Yet another expansive space in this house where you really could go wild in how you choose to design your house. But as I mentioned before, I do feel like looking at this house in this stage, it's a really good way of getting ideas on how you would like to decorate this particular spaces. So over on my left, we do have a bathroom. And as I'm walking through the hallway, once again, I am also noticing the wall space in this house. There is a lot of wall space, so you can see here that the owner has chosen a very interesting way of just putting bits and bobs of his family throughout the entire house. I think it's so well decorated and so well put together. This is a space that you can see has so much potential. If you want to go wild with your design ideas, you will have more than enough room and lighting throughout to really do that. You can see here we have multiple prints, we have multiple dark wooden features, and still it feels so light and bright and alive. So the next space I want to take you to is actually downstairs. We have a full floor that is an entertainment area. This is the space that I feel really, apart from the exterior that we've seen, but really would make this property shine. The stairs are amazing. It's like a natural stone texture, but it has been polished. So it is going to be very, very easy to clean and just adds more to that natural feel of the house. And if you have been paying attention, you'll notice that same design we've been seeing is also represented here on the grills as we're heading down the stairs. And then at the bottom, you're greeted by this statue. Touches like this really make a home feel unique. It is just one of those cultural pieces that you can see. It's such a great way to tell if someone really has taken time to love a space and care for it. Going through this house, you see bits and bobs like that that just make it feel like this is truly a home that someone loved and genuinely cared about enough to go out and get pieces like this to complete a space that could easily just be left empty. So as we're walking in, this entire floor is purely an entertainment area. So over here we have a really long bar, so you'd have your beverages and your refreshments and everything. Someone would be over on this side, preparing the drinks, and for me, I would be obviously on this side receiving the drinks. So the idea is you'd pick up your drinks and have a seat and relax. There's multiple areas where you can do that. So here we have a more circular kind of set. Over here we have the more comfortable, cushy seats. And then over here, it feels more like a formal dining area with an inbuilt TV. So you can see there's even that allocation for a TV wall area. So again, it's another opportunity for someone to really go wild and choose their designs. In a space like this, you could still choose to have 3 seating areas or have one massive entertainment area like a home theater. But the flexibility of this space really shines when you look at a floor like this. And speaking of floors, that natural stone texture goes onto the floor, still polished. That's such a great touch because natural floors sometimes can be notorious for being difficult to clean. But when you add in that texture of natural flooring, but you polish it, it just makes things a bit easier. Down here, obviously, we do have a bathroom, so you don't have to go up and down unnecessarily. So it's easy to access, really spacious, well lit, well ventilated. And I love the fact that if you wanted to, you still have space to include a study area or a work area complete with shelves. It's just a nice little corner. Enjoy your drink if you want to and do your work right there. But we're not finished yet because there's so much more to see. This area also does have a balcony of its own, leading out and looking out onto that beautiful backyard, something similar to what we've seen upstairs. And obviously here we have these massive glass walls, and if you can peek inside, this is a small gym area. There's bits and bobs of equipment here, but the thing that's so captivating for me is the fact that when you keep walking, you have now reached the indoor pool. It's such a fantastic touch because a lot of times we do see pools on the outside, but having an indoor pool is just one of those luxuries that I do feel is necessary so that you can really use your pool at any time of day, at any point you want, without having to feel like you have to go to the outside. But that's not all about this pool area. So obviously we'll have the shower, and we have a newly built sauna. This is brand new, it hasn't been used yet, so you get a brand new sauna in this house. That is absolutely stunning, and I can tell it's one of the types that you would get at any high-end spa, so this is such a wonderful touch. But we're not finished just yet. Apart from the sauna, you also have a steam room. So if you are more of a sauna type of person, you have that. If you're more of a steam room type of person, you also have that. So when I was talking about this being a full entertainment area, it's entertainment and relaxation. You get the full experience in this section. So we still have a few more areas on this floor to look at. I think this floor gives you a good idea of what 12,000 square feet of house really feels like. So right over here we have another opening, and we can see more gym equipment. It is another area that is a small gym. You have your equipment here, but also has a curtain that you can push back to reveal a small massage area. So these spaces have the private door. So this is more of a private room if you don't want to be in the more exposed gym area. There's cabinetry in here. It is a well situated and well sorted out. So with a space like this, obviously there's spaces allocated especially to store things like pumps or just other mini storage areas, so you're not really cramping the space with too many bits and bobs. So we've seen they have cabinetries. In the pool area, there is a special area that's just tucked away to put in your pump and not have that as an eyesore. So we're gonna head back up the stairs and go to the top floor. Let's head on upstairs. The staircase continues. It is harmonious throughout the entire house. So as you're walking up the stairs, we have these really tall windows that have this kind of textured frosted glass, just allowing the light to gently diffuse into the space. We don't want any harsh lights directly hitting you as you're walking up the stairs. So it's just such a wonderful touch. And of course, they've been finished off with the grill work that really does match the one that you see here on the handrail. It's wonderful, wonderful touch. So as I've mentioned, you do have the option of Fine Urban Interiors doing the full interior of the house for you if you do choose to purchase this home. So now we're on the top floor, and this is the main floor for all the bedrooms. It is actually quite private. We have a door here, very solid, very heavy, which can be locked at night, making this entire top floor completely private. And you can feel how that privacy has really been implemented by the inclusion of having almost like a sitting area. This does really feel like a living room where you could sit down and chat before everybody goes to the individual rooms. It feels really, really cozy. It's another space that you can see that dark wood has really been implemented in the floors, in the wooden touches, and you can see the color of the wall also really plays into that warmth and that coziness. Another really big window here, allowing that light to pour in. I love the fact that as we walk through this property, although it does have more enclosed spaces, none of them feel dark at all. There's many properties we've been to where we have to basically take down walls because certain spaces just didn't need walls, and we take them down so to let the light penetrate every nook and cranny. But here, as we're walking through, every space is very well lit. So we are going to head over this way and take a look at some of the bedrooms on this floor. So I immediately noticed as I've entered this room that the floor has changed, not in terms of the material that's being used, but by the texture. And that glossy feel continues throughout. I do feel like details like that are really important because you need to make sure that the materials that have been used in the house are long lasting. So I'm talking about any wooden feature I've talked about, talking about the doors, even looking at the floors, everything is super high quality. Security is also another thing that really, really does shine on this property when I'm talking about the design of the types of grills that we've seen throughout. They are very decorative and really stunning and add so much to the home, but are also a security feature. And that's such a great balance to strike when you're looking at a home. You don't just want any sort of bars on your windows, but you want something that really adds to the beauty of the house. So now that we're in the bedroom, this is a great time to also point out that all the rooms have so much space. So here again, we have a massive bed. We still have room for a corner there where you have your work desk with a bit of cabinetry. Here we have more cabinetry and a TV wall. So you can see this is yet another space where there's so much you can do. And this room also includes a balcony that looks out into the backyard. That was another thing that you can feel was so intentionally done, because most of the living spaces that we've looked at, and now most of the bedrooms you'll see on this floor, do look out into the backyard. And when you have a backyard that looks that stunning, you do want to make the most out of it. So no one's really going to be fighting for any bedrooms in this house, because everybody gets to really look outside and enjoy the serenity of the environment that this house is located in. But this is also a really perfect place for you guys to get a better view of that, a stream of water that runs through the property, as I showed you before. I love the fact that the balcony is also big enough to include a couple of seats. It's just a nice place to have a book and read it, or have your cup of coffee. Now the next space in this bedroom, we have a walk-in closet. Again, this keeps from having to include so many things in the main space. So you have your walk-in closet here, and then as you keep moving, you have a bathroom here with all the features. Every single room in this house is so spacious. All the bathrooms, all the walk-ins. There's no place where space was really squeezed. And as always, amazing natural lighting and amazing light fixtures. On to the next room, right over here. This one really introduces you into the room with the allocated work desk or workspace. We have the dark wood cabinetry built in, yet another big bed, big room. We have a vanity there, mirror there, and there's still so much space. There's so much potential when you look at rooms like this, because one of the main things that people worry about is, okay, once I put in my king size bed or my queen size bed, will I still have enough room if I want to include like a cozy chair or something? And as I'm walking through here, you'll have room to add all that and more. This room also does have a walk-in closet and a bathroom. So no one's going to be bothering anyone else for any bathroom space or anything. Every room is fully private and has everything that you would need. But also, we continue the theme of making the most out of. You have another great view of the natural surroundings of this house. So many trees. I think the word that I would definitely use over and over again is serene. This environment is completely away from all the hustle and bustle of the city. You do really feel like you've been transported into the middle of nowhere, but like the type of nowhere like you'd want to be like somewhere in the middle of the Masai Mara, just in the depths of nature. Once you walk into the master bedroom, the floor changes again. It's not the material, but it's in the design. And that they have maintained it and keeping it glossy throughout. And glossy does not mean slippery. Glossy means easier to clean, easier to maintain. And as I've mentioned, all the materials are of the highest quality. The first thing that my eye is immediately drawn to is this fireplace. I enjoy a good built-in fireplace. It's grand and does add a lot in terms of the coziness of this room. And then right next to it, you do have a nice little space here where you could sit down and really enjoy the crackling fire with a book or a cup of tea. It's just a really, really cozy space. This room is massive, just like all the other ones, but of course, this being the master bedroom, it does have extra touches here and there. We do have a big bed, 2 side tables, a vanity, a couch. That just goes to show you how much you can really do with this space. I know I've emphasized that in multiple rooms, but it's just so that you guys can understand the sheer scope. This is 12,000 square feet of house, and you can see how it has really been designed to make the most out of it. We have yet another massive balcony here, looking out into that extraordinary view. I do not see how you could ever get tired of waking up and looking out and all you hear are the birds chirping, seeing the excellent way that the hedges have been trimmed, how nature has been incorporated. The lawn is well manicured, the trees are tall, the wind is clean. It's just such a magical experience to just be able to be in a house like this. And I think it's really helped by how the house has been designed in tiers. So as I'm standing here, I'm looking down at a balcony, and then you have that other step where you have the other balcony, and then you have that expansive view. I could honestly stand here for hours and hours and just really take in this incredible view. But alas, we must go on and take a look at the rest of the house. What I like that they've done with this master bedroom is once you go through these doors, you are in an entirely different section of the bedroom experience. So over here we have a nice and cozy room. This is the TV room. I really love the idea of not wanting to have your TV in the area that you actually sleep, but having a more private space where you could come and watch it and then completely be able to detach once you're ready to let your brain relax and go to bed. So if you're the type of person who would enjoy to have that, and I do feel a lot of us nowadays understand why we should keep our technology separate from our bedrooms, this is absolutely a perfect cozy space to do that. And then as we continue, we've seen like a his and her sink, or one room where you have one side for the man and the other side for the lady. In this master bedroom, we have two entirely separate bathrooms. I want you guys to guess which one belongs to the lady and which one belongs to the man. So bathroom number 1. Wow. This is where I see myself in future. I want to be able to walk into an expansive bathroom, huge mirror, beautiful counter space, massive bathtub. It's just incredible, so well lit. The light in here is magnificent. I can see this being a really, really relaxing space. All you need to do is close those doors and you're in a completely private area, and you just get to have your spa experience. We not only have the vanity and counter there, we also have another one here with more cabinetry so that you have all the space to store all the things that you need. The colors of the tiles chosen in here are really nice and cool and sturdy as always. Now on to bathroom number 2. So for this one, first, you will walk into a walk-in closet area. You have your cabinetry, a mirror, a nice work desk. And then as you move on, you walk into the bathroom number 2. Now, obviously, this one is simpler. You do have your counter space there still. You still have your cabinetry. You have enough room to actually even add a different stand if you need to add more stuff without causing any difficulty in terms of movement. You have your toilet bowl, bidet, and a high-end shower cubic. So if you're someone who enjoys a bigger space, you have the option of the other one if you want something a bit cozier, but this is where you guys get to guess which one belongs to who. I've talked about this walk-in area. There's yet another one for this master bedroom. So behind this door, we do have the main walk-in area, but at the moment it is closed. But this master bedroom has so many features: a massive main area, a fireplace, an expansive balcony with incredible views. We have 2 bathrooms and we have 2 walk-in closets, and still have enough room to have a private TV area. I cannot fathom what more you could ask for. So as we're wrapping up the tour of this massive, mega mansion, what have we seen on this property? What makes it stand out? Why did Fine Urban Construction and Interiors feel like this is something that we wanted to come and film? We've seen the main structure, how the house is so well planned out, how there's no cramped spaces, even though we've seen a number of walls, how that house is really flexible to different tastes. I can see someone who's a maximalist living in that house with no problem, bringing in your designs and still having having a house that really feels like home. I can also see a minimalist also existing in the house. It is just about the flexibility, space, light, and quality of material that really attracted us to this property. And we do feel that whether you want to buy the house on its own, it would be a great investment, or if you also want to work with us to elevate it for you, perfect. Either way, this house is perfect in each and every way. And I'm just talking about the main structure. We've seen the big SQ that they have. We've seen how massive that parking area in the front is. There's just so many things I could go on and on about. I've mentioned that here, this is where I would live. I cannot say that there's any other properties that I've seen that has incorporated nature so truly to the identity of the home on the interior and on the exterior. I've never seen someone who has taken such pride and love in their backyard and created something that looks so stunning with the different types of plants and flowers and hedges that have been used on this property. Honestly, I could be here all day talking about it, but I do want you guys to give me feedback in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this property. What was your favorite bit?